I'll be fine. I have a new sales rep starting. They'll do all my processes and set up my CRM for me. It's a bit optimistic, and to be honest, it rarely works. And there's a good reason for it. One is selling or sales is a full-time job. At least 40 hours a week will be required in doing all the selling work, the generating leads, the getting to know the company, getting to know the value proposition, the points of differentiation, getting to grips with the systems and the processes within the business already, managing their call plans, writing their scripts, writing their email templates. There's plenty of stuff for them to be doing already. They are already fully utilized as salespeople. They don't have time for business improvement, business process improvement, or even writing process. The other thing is, rarely do they have the skills either, right? Most salespeople from large organizations have had all of the support they've ever needed. They've had all the systems that take care of things, and actually all that they do is talk to customers all day and communicate with customers and report on numbers. Very few actually have the experience to write a process, to do any business improvement, and certainly don't have the skills to do a CRM implementation. So with the lack of time and the lack of skills, they're really not the right person to do the job. Some would say it's best practice to get the person doing the job to write the process. And I'd agree with you, but only as far as I would get the salesperson to be writing their call scripts. I get the salesperson to be writing their email templates. I get the salesperson to be writing out their call plans. But if you think about all of the things that your organization does, from when your customer or your potential customer is aware of your organization all the way through to onboarding, there's a lot more processes than just that. So I would encourage you, if you're thinking about hiring a new salesperson or you have a new salesperson, the best way for them to be successful is to make sure that you have a sales system in place to support them. The evidence for this also comes from my existing clients, those that have put in a sales system, those that have got their salespeople operating and they're in growth. And about halfway through the engagement, the business owner usually comes back to me and says, "Mark, this is great. We're growing and it's working well, and we've got bigger plans now than we've ever had before. Why couldn't my salesperson do this? I pay them, don't I, to do this?" And that's really interesting, because then I hear it from the salesperson, and the salesperson says, "Yeah, some of the things you've said I suggested 6 months ago, and nobody did anything about it." And that is the point. Firstly, that they don't have, the salesperson might recognize that it needs to happen, but they don't have the skills to implement it. Secondly, the business owner understands over time that that person doesn't have the skills to implement it either. And they're not even sure if they're right. They just want them to carry on selling, right? So this is what happens from both sides. But it explains why it won't work, because when I see people that put the sales system in first, and they're like, "Oh, I thought that the salesperson should be able to do that." That's not a salesperson's role. It's not their role. They don't have time for it, and they don't have skills for it. And this is borne out time and time again.